By the way, I just want to segue in terms of that. There was a once upon a time when Brian Flores could have had that same team, but he would have had Deshaun Watson in Miami instead of at Cleveland.
Deshaun Watson,
Because
comeback player of the year.
you know, no,
You,
no,
you were almost there. You were almost
no,
there. You were like, you know what,
no.
Dad? That's
The
sounding because
comeback play of the year
my
right now
feeling
is
is
on the Colts.
if you just keep hammering a point home as a salesman, you just keep hammering it. Even if there's the sheetrock is weak, you just keep hammering Deshaun Watson, comeback player of the year. At some point, there'll be a legitimate discussion about Deshaun Watson as comeback player of the year.
There was a story out of Cleveland that said that that another that clown show organization, that three ring circus called the Cleveland Browns. They said that there's a potential that Stefanski might actually try to get Deshaun Watson actually reactivated to give him some burn this year. That I'd be interested to see how that happens. However, if that does happen, I got to be honest with you,
Dylan
Deshaun
Gabriel
Watson
had
doesn't
a
play.
passer rating 28. Even I mean, what do you mean get Deshaun Watson activated? Dylan Gabriel had a passing like when you have a 28. When you're in, by the way, if you're in today's NFL, if your passer
Yeah,
rating isn't 90 at the minimalist, which is really two screen patterns, multiple screens, flanker, wide receiver screens, dumps, check downs. You can get 90% and never throw the ball more than 10 yards. Never.
yeah. Well, to his credit, you know what? He doesn't throw the ball past 4 yards. So
But you can still get better than 28%, though. Come on. And Deshaun Watson, comeback player of the year, is the best opportunity for Cleveland to do two things. One, reestablish
what?
this organization. One,
As what?
reestablish
As
what?
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 That's just organization.
I can't even finish my thought. I'm your
Just finish
father.
your
I can't
thought.
even finish my, but I can't even finish
There
my
is
thought.
no thought. There is no.
But I can't
What
even
you
finish
say?
my thought before I
Wait,
say
what you
something about
say? I'm
Cleveland.
going to reestablish Cleveland as
Right.
what?
Reestablish Cleveland as a powerhouse in the NBA. And the second part,
As
But
in
did he said powerhouse?
in the NBA.
Powerhouse.
In the NBA.
in the NBA. Oh, okay, because he's going to show up at the Cavaliers games when like Spider goes up 40.
Exactly.
That's what he's going to. Okay.
Exactly. What I'm saying to you is people are going to be redirected from Cavaliers games to Cleveland Browns games with the same thinking that this is a basketball game just played with what, five more
Let me
guys.
tell you something.
Wait, Jonathan.
Right?
Jonathan, the
What's up?
last time the Cleveland Browns were a powerhouse, the announcer sounded like this. Yeah, see Jim Brown right off the gut. See, yeah. Jim down. See, yeah, that Jim Brown.
Mike,
Yeah, see that down.
Mike, he was like, give me a sarsaparilla tuts, and
Hey,
I'll take one of those hot dogs for a nickel.
yeah, yeah, and give me a box of Cracker Jacks. Yeah, see, Chico sticks and
It
Cracker
was
Jacks
not.
for
By the way,
like,
that's such BS.
Mike,
First of all, this was
what are you
organization.
talking about? Last time Cleveland was
Bernie Kosar
Bernie
had this
Kosar.
team.
You said Bernie Kosar.
Bernie Kosar had this
You
team
mentioned Bernie Kosar.
one game away was Cleveland from a Super Bowl appearance, and all it took was a fumble and a 99-yard drive by John Elway.
Mention that part. Don't mention mention the fact that Elway
A
led
99-yard drive by John Elway.
99. You know that was divine destiny saying, you know what? Yeah, what am I doing? Like that's like when God has to second guess himself. Like, do I really want Cleveland to win? Nah, we don't want to go this direction.
Wow.
Like, no.
It almost sounds like, listen, I said we're not going to spend more than 5 minutes in Cleveland, and we're 4 minutes and 22 seconds right now. We've got 33 seconds.
That's because you
ended up on
mentioned
Cleveland
Deshaun
right now.
Watson as a comeback player
But
of
that
the year.
has nothing to do with Cleveland.
What do you mean?
Deshaun Watson comeback player of the year has nothing to do with Cleveland. Has to
He's
do
a
with
comeback
It's
player
not
for
Cleveland
who?
comeback player of the year. It's Deshaun Watson
Okay, for
comeback player of
another,
the year.
like realistically, I believe
No,
wholeheartedly
realistically, it is.
if if I could put my general manager hat on right now, right? If I could enter a front end organization at this point in time, I would trade Deshaun Watson to the Miami Dolphins for Tua. I would. Absolutely. The
You
reason
Or
think
why is
Miami would
because
take that?
or
You think they would take that?
no.
I
Uh,
I think they I mean here's why. I'll give my logic. They both have massive contracts. Okay. The reality of it is that if Deshaun Watson suits up with Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns would be on the hook for a lot of money that they're not going to be able to recoup. Realistically, you can let Tua, you can go excommunicado with Tua right now, and you can save money if you trade him. You can because it doesn't necessarily mean that he'll meet his roster bonus for next year, right? In
Right.
which case, you know what? The truth is that Cleveland still has the backup player in Shadeur that I think we still have to see what he's going to bring to the table. I'm optimistic based on what I've seen in college, right
He's
on,
gone
on
after
his
this
college
year.
career.
He's leaving that team.
Who?
He's the Shadeur. Shadeur's gone after this season.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, he's gone. He's
I hope
gone.
so.
I can tell you right now where he's going.
Where?
Jacksonville.
no way.
I
Shadeur.
mean,
Michael.
I don't see it
Michael.
happening. But
Michael.
okay.
Without 1 minute to go in this segment, and I know we've gone with Dad's original premise from a year and a half ago with Deshaun Watson as comeback player of the year. I'm still sticking with it. I'm never going to let it go. Anyway, Shadeur Sanders, Jacksonville, Sunshine gets replaced. Shadeur plays with Travis. You like that?
No. First,
What?
before I even answer that, it doesn't matter what quarterback you put on Cleveland. They have no receivers. They don't have one receiver that can beat man coverage. Their number one is their tight end. But if you want to go strictly
But that's why you
receiver,
put
it's
Tua there.
no. It's they still. What do they gain from getting Tua that they don't already have or could build in Shador Sanders? Or even, believe it or not, even
But
Dylan Gabriel, but they don't have anyone to throw the ball to.
Whoa, 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 wait. So here's where I slightly disagree.
by the way, we are
Right?
5 minutes on Cleveland, and
I
I'm counting
slightly
down. You got 1 minute to
I
go, and that's it. I'm
okay.
seriously cutting it
I
off.
slight the reason why I slightly disagree is because I watched the 22 film. Like that guy missed a lot. He missed a lot. Like you know what? I'm going to bring it to New England for a second, right? You
30
can't name me
seconds.
a wide receiver in New England, outside of Randy Moss that was A1 man beater, right? You can't. You can't. I mean, they had a bunch of 5'9", 185 pound, slow white guys. One semi speed tall guy and a bunch of tight ends, and they ran roughshod offensively. This is a great scheme. So, like, what are we talking about? You don't need
Wait a
a
minute.
great
Wait.
old world man beater.
Wait a minute. Are we
You
stretching
okay?
this Cleveland segment out for more minutes than this? Come on, you guys
No,
made me
No, time
no.
out.
This
promise
is
not to talk
this
5 minutes
this
about
is
Cleveland, and you're going 15 minutes.
this is just the importance of having at least one top tier or B plus wide receiver on your team. You
They
can't
do.
make it
Jerry
happen.
Judy's a B plus wide receiver. Jerry
Who
Judy's a
who
B
who?
plus wide receiver.
Jerry
Jerry
Judy
Jerry
is
Judy
not
Judy.
is
a B
not
plus.
top
He's not a B
10.
plus wide
He's, a,
receiver.
he's not even a
He's a
He's
B plus
B.
not.
wide receiver.
He's
He's not.
not.
Come
That's why
on.
he got traded to Cleveland. If you get
He got
traded
traded to
to
Cleveland
Cleveland,
because
if you get traded to Cleveland, the Jets or the Bears or Miami, then obviously the team doesn't want you. They're like, just go, just
Odell
go.
Beckham.
Or
Odell
or
Beckham.
or, or
Odell
you had
Beckham.
I
problems.
don't
Odell
want him.
You
They
Beckham.
had
didn't want him. The
an
Giants
illegal
didn't want him. Here,
relationship with the
just
Yeah,
general
go.
manager's wife or daughter.
but he was better than a B wide receiver.
Odell Beckham was better than BRC, but there was Odell's Beckham problem was he the same problem. He was a diva. So here's the thing: you can be a great football player, but if you're spiritually dead and growing as a football player, then you're done. Like just ship him, let him
All right.
go.
So name me
Can we
one
wrap
wide
this
receiver
Cleveland up
outside
in
of Randy
another minute,
Moss.
please? Just
Name
one
me
more
one
minute.
wide receiver outside of Randy Moss that Tom Brady played with that was better than a B wide receiver? I'll
Tom
wait.
Brady. Tom Brady. You're so now you're trying to put this
On New England. On
greatest
New England.
the
On New
greatest
England.
You cannot
quarterback.
put Tom
On New England.
Brady.
Yeah,
You can't put Tom
On New
Brady in a
England.
conversation with
Wait, wait,
Cleveland
wait.
as an
At,
just
organization altogether.
no, no, no.
even
Just no.
Mahomes won it.
If you
Mahomes won it with bad receivers. Mahomes won it with under B receivers. So you either have to be the greatest
last year,
quarterback.
no, the year
You have
before
to be
last,
the greatest quarterback,
the year before last.
or if you
What about Randy
or
Moss with Mahomes?
oh
Randy
Wait,
Moss with
gosh,
okay.
Mahomes.
Here,
Oh
here's
God.
here, here's here's an easier question. Lamar Jackson.
look, he hasn't won anything.
Are we done with
But
Okay,
Cleveland?
well,
Are we
Josh
done with
Allen.
Cleveland? Are we done with Cleveland?
he hasn't won anything.
Are we done? But are we done with Cleveland though?
Yeah, we're done with
I
Cleveland.
mean,
Jonathan?
is
Okay.
Deshaun Watson still your comeback player of the year?
Sean Watson come back player of the year.
No, then we're not done with Cleveland.
No, but he's not. He's the comeback player. It has nothing to do with Cleveland.
Okay, so
Nothing.
where's he coming back to? Where's he coming back to?
He's the comeback player of the year in the NFL. It has nothing to do with Cleveland.
Okay, Jonathan. Here's a question: Shadeur Sanders is a starter, and
That's fine.
say for instance, he got Travis Hunter on the team. Would they be a playoff team?
Oh yeah.
No, not
What?
yet. They
No
no,
way.
Would they be
no.
over under
I'm
I'll
not
take
gonna.
your
I'm
500?
not
book
gonna.
on that.
Over under
Over.
500.
They'd be
Over.
they'd be over 500 just
So
based
what,
on their
like
chemistry alone.
nine
They'd
and
be.
eight,
I'm
10
taking
and
the book on
7?
that.
I
9 and
think I
8.
think just on the merits, if you gave Shador Sanders Jacksonville's offensive line, hypothetically speaking, if you gave Shador Sanders Jacksonville's offensive line, you know what, Travis Hunter, I think where they have that other wide receiver over there, but he's hurt. I think he got hurt last week. Who was that? Not I can't number 7. I forgot his name.
Oh,
Um,
Robinson, Brian Robinson.
yeah, Brian Robinson, right? Realistically, and this is going to sound stupid, crazy, but I think based on their chemistry alone, I think Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders pair up, and I think Travis Hunter is 1,000 yards receiving just
Absolutely.
based on their
Are
chemistry.
you serious?
That's his guy.
I absolutely. I agree with you.
Joe
But in
Burrow,
that
Jamar
division,
Chase.
that's enough to get them. Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
based on their chemistry, you know what? Um, certain quarterback wide receiver duos just tandems have it. They have it. Like they're on the same page. In fact, I'll go so far as to say that you know what? Maybe I do. The only reason why I have trouble with saying are they a playoff team is because you have to take in consideration the defense as well. I don't think that the defense is sustainable in terms of like being able to be locked down. I think it's decent. I don't think it's all world, but I mean offensively, would
That's
they put
such a
up
weak
points?
division
Yes.
now. It's such a weak division.
The AFC South,
Yeah.
they used to be.
I think, I'm agreeing with Michael, and I know where Michael's going with this, and I agree 100%. If you said we're going to send Sunshine to Cleveland because you know what? This is punishment for 4 years of you putting us through punishment. We're going to give you 4 years of punishment in Cleveland. So if you want to punish a player, you agree with me, and your laugh, your snickering, is your definitive yes that you agree. I'm going to punish you by giving you a committed and guaranteed contract in Cleveland
With no trade clause.
with no trade clause, and that's where Sunshine's going. So Sunshine goes to Cleveland, Shador goes to Jacksonville. Which one of them is a better upside? Which one?
Which one is the better one?
Upside.
Oh God! I mean, anything outside of Cleveland.
That's my point. And I say Jacksonville with Shador and Travis Hunter and the nuclei of that team is something you could build on not just next year, but for the next 5 years, at least in Jacksonville, you would have a brand of football that would be something entertaining to watch.
That's a house squad.
It would be entertaining. It would be
House
entertaining.
squad.
It would be entertaining. It would
That's
be
what I
House
want.
squad.
absolutely entertaining.
And
I would be must see
you have
TV.
a bunch
I would
of young
watch that.
players. Yep.
Yeah, I watch
Eh,
that.
the-
So here we
I
are. We are general managers right now. We're operating as general managers,
okay.
and our advertisers should be listening to us right now. Should be calling us at or emailing us at sportstalkwithjohnandjohn at gmail.com, or emailing us at or leaving comments at sportstalkwithjohnandjohn at youtube.com, or leaving a message for us at 504-434-2509 to entertain the idea that we've got a trade in mind. We're sending Sunshine to Cleveland for a fifth round draft pick, and we're going to pay Jacksonville the bulk of Sunshine's contract because we don't owe Shadeur Sanders anything.
I don't think Cleveland can actually afford it. That's the problem.
Why not? You think what? Myles Garrett isn't leaving. He's locked. There's nowhere to go.
The reason why is because you still have to pay, you have to finish paying Deshaun Watson's salary. He's still on the payroll. You got to finish paying
Deshaun's
Sunshine's
going to
salary.
Miami. We're losing that. We're losing that. We're gonna pick up Tua.
Oh,
Cleveland's
okay.
picking up
So you want to do
Tua.
a three?
Right.
The trade
We're
is
picking up.
okay.
We had 5 quarterbacks in Cleveland anyway, so this time we'll just have 5 more. We'll have Dylan Gabriel. We'll have
Okay.
Deshaun. We'll have Sunshine,
All right.
and we'll have Tua on the Cleveland starting 3, the greatest, highest paid payroll of quarterbacks in NFL history, and none of them has won a playoff game.
No, Sunshine's won a playoff game.
Okay, one of them has won a playoff game. And if we go to Atlanta and we get Kurt, we could have 4 guys with 2.
How you can't afford to pay anybody else. You have nothing left in salary cap.
You can have
But you
Dylan
know
Gabriel, you can have
you
Kurt,
did
Sunshine, and Tua on the same team
you know
at
but
one time.
you did say something kind of like that. Honestly, the more I think about it, it I don't it'll never happen. I don't know if the money works out, but you could involve a three-way deal here. I do see the makings of it in which you send Sunshine to
Atlanta?
Cleveland.
No,
You send
Atlanta.
Deshaun Watson to Miami,
No,
and
send
you
Sunshine
send.
to Atlanta.
Wait, I do see. I'm trying to make the money work. You
Okay.
can do Sunshine for. You can do Sunshine for. I'm sorry. You can do Tour uh, for Deshaun Watson right now. The money works,
The money
right?
works.
So
Absolutely.
Deshaun Watson would effectively go to Miami at that point in time,
Zero
right?
it out. You zero out the
And
contracts.
yeah, and Tua goes to Cleveland, and then you do a trade with Cleveland for Tua and Shador to Jacksonville for Sunshine at that point
Yeah.
in time.
That's good. I
I
like
mean,
that.
I don't
Wow.
know if the money
Listen to
works,
you.
but
Listen to my son. Look at my
I mean,
bully. My baby with his
it's
GM
just
hat on.
no. I mean, nah.
No, no, no,
Don't
no,
put me
really.
in the comments of that.
Michael,
Don't do
that is
that,
a really
right?
good
But
deal, by the way.
I'm just
That is a
saying,
good
like
deal.
from a
That I
standpoint of
could see that deal.
That is a
from,
good
from the
deal.
standpoint of
I can see that deal.
like I mean it makes it does like I don't know, like I said, I don't know if the money works out, but
But
it
it does.
to me in my mind it makes sense, right? Because at the end of the day, Jacksonville can move part ways with Sunshine. He'll get another opportunity now in a different franchise. And by the way, he fits Kevin Stefanski's offensive scheme.
Totally.
He does. So
I
I
think you do
mean,
all right in Cleveland, by the way. Just to let you know.
I mean, you know what? And then you know what?
By all right, I mean if
Tua's
you're
essentially
500
your
team.
Tua's essentially your backup now in Jacksonville to Shador, and Deshaun Watson goes to the team he should have went to originally when
That
he parted
uh,
ways with Houston, and that's Miami. I
listen
mean,
for our
I don't
listeners
know.
out there
Sounds
listening.
good. Sounds good. Sounds good.
My son has suggested, my GM, my baby has suggested this 3-way deal. We're sending Deshaun Watson to Miami
Miami.
for Tua. We're sending Sunshine from Jacksonville along with Tua to Cleveland for Shador and
No.
you name the deal. Say the deal.
you you send Deshaun Watson from Cleveland to Miami,
Okay.
for the trade with Tua.
Okay.
So Typhoon Tua goes to Cleveland, right? And Miami gets Deshaun Watson, and then Jacksonville trades Sunshine for Tua and Shadeur. And so now
Wow.
Cleveland is stuck with Sunshine as your quarterback with uh the rookie Dylan Gabriel as your backup. Shador and Tua now are on Jacksonville's team, and now Shador, obviously you got Tua as your backup, and Shador now has an opportunity to reunite with Travis Hunter.
Wow. Michael, you like that deal? Shark, you in for that?
I don't see a problem with it.
Does the money work?
Probably not.
I don't. That's the only thing I'd have to look at to see what the money is. I
Why
don't think the
not?
money goes.
Because
I mean, I'm
first of
sure.
all, I
I'm
think
sure there'd be a
Jonathan's right.
draft pick involved in that too, but
But I think
in terms of
Jonathan's right.
personnel,
Tua and Deshaun, I think that negs out as a positive, as a negative zero. You don't gain anything with Tua, but you don't lose anything with Deshaun in Miami. So you don't gain anything with Tua in Cleveland, but you don't lose anything with Tua not being in Miami. Okay, so you don't lose
well,
anything.
it would the real contract would be Sunshine's deal, right, and Deshaun Watson's deal because ultimately Cleveland would end up with Sunshine,
Right.
right? So
So,
Sunshine ends up in Cleveland at that point in time.
but then you also you lose all the decision making and the bad decision making that will come with Shadeur Sanders being in Cleveland. Because there's nothing but bad decision making that will come if that young man stays in Cleveland. I'm
I
saying
agree with
just
you.
a
I
bad
agree with
decision
you.
making.
I
Right? You're
agree. I
losing.
agree. I agree.
Losing.
I
And
I
if I
at
said
this
to you,
point
and
in
if I
time,
said to you that if Miami, if they said to you, you got to throw in Dylan Gabriel, what
they would.
are you saying like, okay, we can't
They
lose
would.
him?
No, they wouldn't. I just I they wouldn't. There's no trade scenario I see in that situation revolving around Dylan Gabriel. Like
Right.
he's going to stay in Cleveland. He's going to. Okay, that he was handpicked by Stefanski. He was. He was hand. They moved up. Think about it like this. They moved up. Pro Football Focus had him as a draft grade of I believe a fourth, fifth round guy. Fifth round, I think, was his draft grade, right? So they moved all the way up to the third round to draft their quarterback. So they moved up. So they saw value in him, right? And there's not to say that they probably still don't see value, right? I don't. I mean, I'm not. Look, this is not a knock on Dylan Gabriel, right? Number one, I think Dylan Gabriel is a fine football player. I
Right.
just think that he
By the
has
way, this is not a knock on anyone. This is
deficiencies.
just trade
No,
scenarios. Right.
no. So I mean, if I see Stefanski, if and I don't think Stefanski gets fired this year, right? I see him being at that organization and still wanting to cultivate something he saw in Dylan Gabriel that made him want to jump up 2 rounds to pick him up. I just think that there's a time in which you're not ready and you need better leadership, right? And I do see that obviously with Jacksonville, it appears that Sunshine is starting to run its course, right?
Right.
And sometimes it's just time to go, right? I mean, look, this
It's
feels
been
like a
what, 4
zero
years
sum
already?
game.
4 years? 4 years?
Yeah, it just appears that we haven't seen. I've seen 1 year where he's made the playoffs, and then he's fell short the rest, right? And at this point in time, sometimes it's just time for people to part ways, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Still a fantastic quarterback, in my opinion. At least I think he's good. I think there's merit, but I think that team with Shador, you know what, cultivating the talent of
With
those
Travis
two
Hunter.
players with Travis Hunter and Shador, I just think
That's a
that
great team.
football they had chemistry, magic at Jackson State. They had magic at Colorado. I think that translates back to the pro system. I think with the wide receiving talent that they have, you know what? I could conceivably seeing that being a pairing that
I like
we
that.
see as,
I
I
really,
mean, that could be
son, I
like,
think I think you hit on something. I had not given that, excuse me, I had not given that plausible discussion or even thought about it at any given time. But the merits of it, not only does it make sense, but I really think it does all the organizations involved, it either sets them at status quo, and Cleveland, status quo, well, we already know what status quo in Cleveland is. But I think Sunshine gives Cleveland a better chance at winning than Shadeur would, Dylan
Absolutely.
Gabriel, or Tua, because he's
Absolutely.
experienced. He definitely has the size. He is a Stefanski type of quarterback. He's long, he's tall, he's rocket arm. He's kind of like a brick mason with kind of one of those model kind of looks, but he's a brick
Mhm.
mason kind of quarterback. I think he would do well in Cleveland, and he needs to get out of Jacksonville right now. Anyway,
I
sometimes
think Tommy Reese would love it, but I
ah,
mean,
I think so. Yeah, I think
but
you're
I
onto
mean,
something. In fact,
I don't like I said, a lot of it would be predicated on the money, you know what, and the optics behind it because
what
you
money?
know,
I mean, nobody's losing in this deal. In fact, the winner of this deal is actually Cleveland because they're losing one hellacious contract.
yeah,
They're gaining another contract in return, but they're also getting a player that ostensibly gives them the better chance at winning, and they have finally a quality backup for this guy when and if he gets hurt in Cleveland.
yeah. I don't like I said, I don't see any. I mean, the only thing I'm predicated on that would just be the money and ultimately, ego. Money and ego would probably prevent that from happening, right? Because you look, you want to paint Shador as this great unknown, and I understand that. I totally believe that not all the time does talent translate from the college game to the pro game.
Right.
However, we've got we've got like 10 years of film on this guy, on this kid, from high school. You know what? Uh, and every aspect of his game has been scrutinized to the nth degree because he's always been in the public eye, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you've seen the progression of two college programs go from non-existent to all of a sudden relevancy. And neither one of those programs, mind you, had a stable offensive line. In Colorado, there was no real running back.
Right.
There was no running back, and there was no offensive line. I mean, later on they got Seaton, right? As a freshman, but outside of that, there was really nothing. And this kid is tough as nails. He's durable. Never missed anything in college. You know what? And now, I mean, I just like I said, you know what? I think if the bookmakers can put this together, I think that's actually a win-win-win trade scenario for all three teams.